So Tim Hill in pole position in kart 35. Mark Ridout on the outside in kart 27. The second row at the moment is looking like Andy Cowell and Thomas Conn, James Hattersley, Stephen Jennings on row 3. Matthew Fawkes, Andrew Dawson on row 4. Ben Cottle and Steve Bosley rounds out the top 10. And as I suspected, grid 2 always loses out here. And it's Tim Hill leading ahead of Andrew Cowell, James Hattersley. Grid 2 man Mark Ridout has settled into 4th place. Ahead of, I think that's Matthew Fawkes, who's just gone down the inside. But squaring off the corner, he's had to let Ridout back through, and Cowell is Cowell is under pressure from James Hattersley out of Prem class, giving Tim Hill a clear run in the lead. Hattersley moves to 2nd, Ridout goes back to 3rd, and Andy Cowell finds himself down on the 2nd row again in 4th place. Matthew Fawkes in 5th, ahead of Thomas Conn, Stephen Jennings, Andrew Dawson. Trying to see who's behind Andrew Dawson. I think that's Steve Bosley. Ben Cottle, your top 10. Into the wind. Into the horseshoe. And it's an easy lead for now. But I don't think it's going to last. James Hattersley is a former teammate of Tim Hill. The young man from Knaresborough in North Yorkshire. I just like saying Yorkshire. We've already seen one win for Yorkshire this morning from Joe Holmes in the league class. And we may see another. But holding up his end for Kent at the moment is Tim Hill, by way of Winterfell in Westeros. I know. Having something of a sort out behind. There's some heavy hitters down at the bottom of the top 10. And Hill now is providing a slipstream to James Hattersley. Battle is joined at the front. Over the hump, into the horseshoe. Now, how much of a fight is Tim Hill going to put up? He's off the curb there into the horseshoe. Looks over his shoulder. So Jennings moving up onto the bumper of Thomas Conn. Andrew Dawson, a winner this season already. In behind, they're both trying to move up and on to Andy Cowell. Matthew Fawkes has moved ahead of Andy Cowell, somewhere off camera. At least off my camera. Jennings to the inside of Conn, and that would be for 6th place. If he can make it stick, and I believe he has. He moves straight onto the bumper of Andy Cowell. And there's a bit of a queue developing behind him. That looks like Ben Cottle, who's been off the road. Jennings to the inside of Cowell. He goes through, runs wide, and on the crisscross, Andy Cowell takes it back. Great racing in the heavyweight class here at Club 100 at Lydd. This is classic Lydd action. I'm having acid flashbacks to my times in the heavyweight class. I must have done that a few times. Meanwhile, up front, Tim Hill under pressure, right on the bumper now and going narrow into the horseshoe to hold off James Hattersley. And that's going to help Mark Ridout get on his bumper as well. That'll help for his championship. But right now he looks like a bit part player in this final. How long is James Hattersley going to wait And can he afford to wait that long with Mark Ridout closing in behind? Stephen Jennings moved ahead of Thomas Conn. I think we saw that move. Live timing's just clicked over. Hattersley looks to the inside, sticks his nose in. Somewhat unconvincing. Hill going half a kart width narrow. Better line through there. Hattersley will be pushed to pass him. Matthew Fawkes trying to get across in fourth place. He's going to finish this with fourth. Andy Cowell loses out to Andrew Dawson. And that's Thomas Conn. And here comes, who's that? That's Anthony Harrington. Cowell doesn't want to give up another spot. I'm afraid there's nothing he can do about it. Steve Bosley goes through. Oh, pushing Ballinger wide. I suspect that could be a penalty. I can see Carson Arnold calling something. I think we'll see that on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, further forward, it's a three-way dice for the lead now. With James Hattersley out front. Well, it had to happen. Here comes Hill. And Mark Ridout, it's on at the front. Hill gets his lead back. Ridout's coming through to second place. And I do have to say, as I predicted, we're having an entertaining pre-A final in the heavyweight class. Hill, Ridout, Hattersley. And it's on behind as well. Dawson, I think, has made his way at the front of the field in fourth place ahead of Thomas Conn. Steve Bosley, Andy Cowell. Oh, where to look, where to look. You might get a better view from me than me with the multiple camera angles. Hill is taking a few lessons from Liam Cochrane. By swinging to the inside on the back straight to hold off that initial surge of slipstream, and then swinging back to the racing line for the last corner to get a decent line out to keep the position into the first chicane. With 5 minutes left of this first final, or A final, this pre-A final. Ridout to the inside of Hattersley. And Hill's got a couple of kart lengths, and Matthew Fawkes could get across here. Stephen Jennings as well, maybe. Dawson is breaking clear of Steve Bosley. Thomas Conn, Andy Cowell. James Shield in 10th place in kart 99. Well up in this pre-A final. Behind him, Michael Ballinger, Mike Bodner, Adam Wright from the pre-B final has made it as far as 13th place, and he's still picking up spots. Meanwhile, it's still on. I think we've missed some contact, maybe. Tim Hill has pulled out half a dozen kart lengths on James Hattersley, Mark Ridout, and Matthew Fawkes is right there now. Oh, Hattersley getting a bit desperate. I'd have to say that's probably more than one move there from James Hattersley. Changing line in the braking zone, not advisable. Certainly he's got a curb warning. And it looks as though he's rear gunning now for Tim Hill with 3 minutes left. I'm not sure they're going to catch him. There was 1.2 seconds the gap on that last lap. That means the toe is broken. And Stephen Jennings might get across. Andrew Dawson still ahead of Steve Bosley. Andy Cowell and Michael Ballinger renew their friendship. And here comes Adam Wright into the top 10. Oh, Ballinger's all over the road and into the kitty litter. Fortunately, I don't have a camera down there, but I suspect Michael Ballinger is losing his shit, if I can say that, with the contact from Andy Cowell. Anyway, Tim Hill continues to lead. 2.5 minutes from the finish. James Hattersley second. Mark Ridout, Matthew Fawkes, Stephen Jennings might still get in the mix here. He's running in 5th and he will pick up the tour, I think, from Fawkes this time. Steve Bosley is closed in on Andrew Dawson in the fight for 6th place. Better line through the second chicane. He might take a shot here on this run back to start finish. The top 5 are evenly spaced. Battle for 6th place, and what a run from Adam Wright. Started 21st. He's running in 8th place now, with a little help. The front of the field is looking fairly settled. Oh, my camera work's gone. And Dawson seems to have some measure of control. I'm half trying to watch the top 5. Oh, sideways there from Andrew Dawson, and Bosley now right in position to strike. And he's got to go for it. No, we can't get through in the last corner. It's beginning to look like a fairly easy defence. Just go as narrow as you can for as long as you can, because there's no way you're going to drive around the outside. And I've got a feeling that Adam Wright has got ahead. No, sorry, it's Matthew Fawkes still. Let's check in on our race leader. Tim Hill, James Hattersley, Mark Ridout, Matthew Fawkes, Stephen Jennings. Battle for 6th. Andrew Dawson, Steve Bosley, Adam Wright, James Shield. I think that's about 10th. But Anthony Harrington in 10th. There's a yellow flag out. Somebody's off. That looks like Thomas Conn. Where's our race leaders? Down at the hairpin, and we're on the last lap. And Stephen Jennings has caught up with Matthew Fawkes, and James Hattersley is almost in range of Tim Hill, but not quite. If he gets the exit right, Tim Hill's going to win this Pre-A final. Down to the last corner, the yellow flag will put it beyond doubt. Tim Hill wins the heavyweight Pre-A final from James Hattersley, Mark Ridout, Matthew Fawkes, Steve Jennings, Andrew Dawson sees off Steve Bosley and Adam Wright. What a run from 21st. Anthony Harrington finished behind James Shield in 10th. Thomas Conn, Paul Williams, Andrew Cowell, John Folds, Ben Bennyworth, Theodoru Gerodakis in 16th, Steve Townsend, John Gooch, Martin Gurnett, Rob Stapleton, Mike Bodner was 21st.